Harry Styles drank a shoey, an unpopular Australian trend. Harry Styles, a British music artist, put a sweaty sneaker full of water to his lips on Monday night in front of 30,000 yelling Aussie fans. He grimaced and said to the entire stadium, "This is one of the most horrible traditions I've ever heard of," before downing the beverage to thunderous cries of "shooey, shooey, shooey." Styles told the boisterous crowd that after swallowing, he felt like a different person. He shook his head and admitted, "I feel ashamed of myself. I'll be in depth addressing this with my therapist." Final word. Styles is merely the most recent foreign celebrity to be subjected to the dubious Australian practice known as the shoey, which involves consuming a liquid, typically alcoholic, from a shoe. F1 driver Sir Lewis Hamilton, actor Sir Patrick Stewart, and a host of musicians, including rapper Post Malone, country singer Casey Musgraves, and singer Machine Gun Kelly, have all indulged while visiting the nation, frequently at the urging of Australian admirers. But the tendency is contentious. Many Australians believe it to be stale, disgusting, and blokey, an unpleasant trait for the nation to be known for. Others claim it's a harmless kind of entertainment that has its roots in Australian culture, which emphasizes self-deprecating humor and a feeling of equality. Nobody is exactly sure where the shoey came from. Liz Jeffer, a lecturer in communications at the University of Technology Sydney, told the BBC that like every cultural practice, a few people attempt and claim it. Soldiers allegedly performed shoeys during the World Wars, just as Russian ballet stars allegedly did in the distant past. Nonetheless, the earliest shoey that Dr. Jeffer has discovered photographic proof of occurred in 1951. During a press appearance at the Ritz Hotel in London, American actress Tallulah Bankhead was photographed drinking champagne from her heel. Yet, what began as an exhibition of opulence eventually turned into something silly in Australia. According to Dr. Jeffer, the shoey is a relatively new occurrence in Australia, according to Mark Gwynn, who has been studying the word to add to the official Australian National Dictionary. The earliest mentions of the shoey that he can uncover are from 2010, when it was popular at athletic events and parties in addition to being a part of the Australian punk music scene. It's usually done to signify a celebration, after which the wearer quickly puts the drenched shoe back on. It's like overcoming hardship. The notion that after completing a particularly difficult task, I should drink from the shoe that got me there, claims Dr. Jeffer. But according to both academics, Daniel Ricciardo, an Australian Formula One driver, surely popularized the shoey in 2016, both the name and the behavior. He increased its global visibility and made it his signature race celebration. Only since then has its popularity skyrocketed. Hannah Green, an Australian golfer, drank a shoey to celebrate her first victory on home soil earlier this month, and Ned Brockman, who raced the length of Australia last year, finished with a cocktail with sock flavor. Mr. Gwynn claims that it is also a tribute to Australia's sense of humor, sense of adventure, and drinking culture. None of this is violent. It isn't necessarily sexist, racist, or anything else. It's a laid-back, outrageous bit of fun. But many Australians think it's repulsive. Some critics assert that the tendency is dumb and no longer shocks people. According to Mackenzie, watching Styles guzzle shoe juice on TV made him uncomfortable. The 24-year-old says the trend has not held up well over time and describes himself as a reformed alternative vessel enthusiast. He is too ashamed to give his last name. But he wasn't forced to do anything. Harry should be all right, in my opinion. He's wearing gorgeous Gucci shoes, which are probably cleaner than the mugs of coffee that you and I have on our kitchen counters. The star's beverage of choice completely astounded Brooke Littler, who was watching Styles perform on Monday night from the front row. "I'm shocked that he actually did it. He wasn't going to, in my opinion." She wasn't shocked or ashamed, though. Although the musician hated it, according to Ms. Littler, she believes he deserves praise for defying the trend. She claims that shoey demands have been a common occurrence at most concerts she has attended in recent years. "I find it pretty repulsive and don't know why it's a thing, but I enjoy seeing other people do it. But you won't see her taking part in it anytime soon. Really, the only way I would perform one is at Harry Styles' request."